Hey friends, it's Gina. Welcome to the Rebookery channel. Today I'm going to prepare my journal for a really cool event that's going to happen on August 21st. It is the total solar eclipse. And where I live, we are in the zone of totality, which means we will be able to see the total blackout eclipse. So I want to prepare my journal because I've been collecting some things for this event. I've been waiting for this for months and months. And I want to get everything ready so that after it happens, all I'm going to have to do is journal. So I picked out a page in my little journal, and I'm going to use some really odd papers. These are some old carbon copy papers that I found at an estate sale somewhere and just didn't know what I wanted to do with them. So I thought about gluing them to this paper. Now I'm going to use some Elmer's spray glue. This is a glue that I bought. It was quite expensive and I'm not loving it. You spray it and it's supposed to, be a really strong adhesive. I don't love it. I actually love the Elmer's aerosol spray glue. This was not an aerosol, and what I found was that it dried too fast and I couldn't glue anything. So I'm going to try just pouring it into a cup and brushing it on with a paintbrush and see how that works. It may work, it may not work, I don't know. So what I found was that the glue stinks really, really bad, and it does dry quickly, so I had to work fast. But I like this page on the left. I love how I was able to get it on. I'm okay that there's wrinkles. I'm totally fine with that. And so once I did that side, I was good to go and do the other side. Now in my little journal, I've already prepped a lot of my pages with some like tabs along the edges, and a lot of those tabs are like sewn on fabric and buttons and fabric scraps and things like that. So this just happens to be one of those pages that has trim sewn on the side. And what I'm going to need to do is try to get this carbon paper underneath that trim. So it takes me a few minutes to get it going here, and thank goodness the paper wasn't as fragile as I thought. I was afraid it was going to rip, but it didn't, and I was able to pull it up and move the paper a little bit, and then just take my paintbrush and put some more adhesive underneath. Now it's been about 3 hours since I did this layout, and the paper is still holding tight, so I think I may be good to go, which is good because I finished the layout and I really like it, and I would hate to have to tear the whole thing up again. But it seems like that glue is going to hold. So yeah, it worked. That was one of those times where an experiment actually turned out pretty good. So this is going to be my background, and I love just the coolness of that carbon paper. That is just too awesome. I'm thinking that must be the company name of that carbon paper, and then on the other side was the carbon that you would use to press your pencil into, and it would copy onto another paper. So now I'm just going to cut out, and in my mind I'm thinking big chunky fat letters, and I'm just using some pages from a recipe book, and I'm going to cut out the letters for the word totality. And I'm actually pretty good at cutting letters out. I think I'm actually better at cutting letters out than I am at finding stickers and placing them on a page. I like the look of the chunky letters, and I think I want this to be, of course, messy, as all my journal pages seem to be, but I like how this is just kind of taking over the whole page. So I line it up, and then I just use some Elmer's glue and glue it down on the bottom of the paper. It's time to get started on my moons. I'm going to use this black and purple handmade paper for the shadow of the eclipse, and then this bright yellow wrapping paper is going to be the sunlight. Now, I have in my mind what I want this to look like, but I have to tell you, if you haven't already figured this out, I am a complete moron. And so I kept rethinking how I was going to line up my moons and how I wanted my sunlight to show and what side I wanted it on. And you would think that being a science teacher, I would know this, but I just kept getting it confused with phases of the moon. Anyway, needless to say, I tore the moons off of this paper 3 times before I finally decided on what the correct placement will be. So you'll see me do this, and then you'll see me at the very end. I took a picture of the finished layout where I actually went back and I corrected the placement of the moon. And for my total eclipse moon, I just used this foily green, I think it was a wrapping paper, and then I just put some black wallpaper over top of it and sewed some lace on it. And now I'm going to this booklet that I have. I bought some Solar Eclipse glasses and it came with a booklet, and so I'm just going to this booklet and cutting out phrases and pictures and sticking them on my layout. I used some of my postage stamps. I was able to buy those like the first day they came out, so I bought 2 packages of those, one to save and then one just to use in my layouts. And up in the upper right hand corner, I have, from that little book, I have a picture of the United States, and then I used some little map arrows to point to where we are located, so that I can like show that we were in the path of totality. So here I have a postcard from a store here in Kansas City that is called Hammerpress. It is a letterpress store. It is the most fabulous letterpress store in the history of the world. I love going there. It's just the most beautiful, calming place. And they have their big letterpresses out for you to see as they're stamping their supplies. Anyway, last week they released a print and a postcard for the solar eclipse. So my husband went down and bought one of each, and I'm going to use that postcard as a journaling card, but I don't have enough room on my page. So originally I had made a little secret pocket on the right hand side on the back side of the page, and I just used some old deposit slips. But I decided I didn't like that, and I had that envelope from the post office that the stamps came in, and I thought that might be better because the envelope was kind of pretty with it just being all black, and it was kind of something that I wanted to save. So I ripped off the deposit slips and put adhesive on the envelope and then changed the position of my little pocket so that it now pulls from the top instead of the side. So my postcard will fit in there. I have my Eclipse glasses in there. I put one of my packages of my postage stamps in there, but I found that my postcard kind of gets lost in the pocket. So I'm going to cut a little hole in it and then add some pretty thread so that you can use it to help pull that postcard out. Now I stamped an eyeball on the postcard, and I just wrote the word notes on there, and I added one of my postage stamps because I know that I'm going to have a lot of stuff to write about after the eclipse actually happens. Okay, so here's the actual final result. And I did go back and change my moon and my sunlight placement. I love this. I love the dark with the purple and the pink and that bright yellow. And I like how I just kind of loosely interpreted what I think that this is going to look like. I hope you guys are able to go out and enjoy this. And let me know if you are in totality or what percentage of the eclipse you will be able to see. Guys, thanks for hanging out with me. If you like this, give me a thumbs up or subscribe, and have a great rest of the day. Bye.